When the idea of creating a center in UK was put on the table, I thought about climate, that climate was something which was more and more on the front page. I wrote a proposal to create basically the ESA Climate Office. For 20 years I worked on data quality, on product quality, on sensor performance. Climate is that context, is taking again all the data we've been acquired over the past 30 years and to reassess the quality of this data, to improve the quality of this data in order to create climate data sets which are uniform, homogeneous over the long time series. And I studied oceanography in Brest, and it happened that I did a lot of programming when I was young, just because my dad was a director of an informatics center. And that in fact completely changed my life. So I moved completely from a very practical aspects, going to the sea, to more satellites aspects. At the end of my studies, it was the time ESA was preparing the launch of ERS-1 at the time. In Brest, they created a center called the CERSAT to process and archive ERS-1 data. Part of that group, I wrote software, which is the processing for the scatterometer data, which was on board ERS-1, and I sold, my company sold the software to ESA. Progressively, I took the responsibility for the whole calibration, validation, sensor performance, in-flight performance, for the whole ERS-1, then ERS-2, then NVSAT missions. I also worked a lot in the international context, in the CEOS, the Committee of Earth Observation Satellites, and I was chair of the working group on calibration and validation of that committee. And that also brought all the activities we are doing in ESA into the international context. Now I am program manager for the Climate Change Initiative program, and I'm also responsible for the Climate Office. That's a group of 8 people today. We have created a European climate science community. There is a kind of concentration around Oxford with this center in particular. It creates a lot of synergy and a lot of possibilities. That goes from very technical aspects to commercial aspects. The activities we are doing in the Climate Office on the Climate Change Initiative program are basically the R&D, the research and development aspects, which are needed then by the Copernicus Climate Change Service. The three together, the Copernicus Climate Change Service, the CCI and the Climate Staff from EUMETSAT, are the 3 pillars of the climate activities in Europe.